Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The Department of Education wishes to remind the public that pre-kindergarten screening exercise, originally scheduled for Friday, June 14th, has been rescheduled to Wednesday, June 19th. Parents of children who are expecting to enter kindergarten in September 2019 are asked to contact the school where their child has been registered for further details regarding the time and venue of the screening exercise. Parents may also contact Special Education Unit at telephone 468-5444 for more information. On a separate note, the Department of Education also wishes to inform parents and guardians of students of Form 1 and Form 2 presently attending the Groseley Secondary School that there is an urgent parents meeting on Friday, June 21st, 2019 at the Groseley Secondary School at 3:30 p.m. The mind of a criminal may always be at work. With this in mind, the Attorney General's office facilitated a 3-day workshop to bring key stakeholders together to figure out new and emerging ways to combat crime. With the rising cyber criminals, Attorney General Stephen Julian says capacity building of law enforcement is critical. Solange Alfred tells us more.
Crime takes no rest, neither can the individuals tasked with ensuring the safety of the nation. A criminal justice process workshop was recently held, bringing together key stakeholders to ensure those who promise to serve and protect are 2 steps ahead of criminal elements. Attorney General Stephen Julian says the need to build the capability of law enforcers is paramount in today's fast-paced society.
We need to ensure that in our fight against crime, that we are mindful of the use of emerging technologies, and that key stakeholders are provided with the necessary expertise required for the effective investigation and prosecution of criminal matters. The ultimate objective is to enhance the capacity of relevant persons and agencies who are directly involved in the various aspects in combating crime. The emergence of new technologies has created vulnerabilities within the financial sector, which can facilitate the commission of transnational crime, including money laundering and terrorism financing. It is observed that these developments have created a possible platform for criminals to operate a cyber network of organized crime. The need to be able to obtain information and evidence from these platforms in a timely manner is critical for law enforcement.
Julian notes the need for the island to be guarded against all levels of criminality, including white-collar and terrorist organizations. He highlights the efforts to combat crime include extradition of criminals and forfeiture of assets and proceeds of crime.
To date, the FIA has seized illicit cash with a total value of approximately 13 million Eastern Caribbean dollars. Out of this total, 3.4 million Eastern Caribbean dollars was forfeited through the mutual legal process. The proceeds from the forfeited cash are used to augment the capacity of law enforcement agencies, as well as to meet the demands of other stakeholder agencies integral to the fight against crime. The agencies which have benefited from the use of the funds are the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, the Financial Intelligence Authority, the FIA, which I mentioned earlier, the Attorney General's Chambers, Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the National Anti-Money Laundering Oversight Committee, NAMLOC, and the Ministry of Justice.
Present at the capacity building workshop for justice officials were representatives from the Commonwealth Office. One representative, Elizabeth Baki-Binga, commends the joint effort taken to alleviate crime.
There is good evidence that government now also sees the need for this joined-up approach and for joined-up delivery. End of quote. It is anticipated that in sharing national practice and experiences from other parts of the Commonwealth, we shall leave this program with more practical approaches and skills necessary to combat crime and ensure quick and efficient dispensation of justice. We very much hope that each of you seizes the opportunity to network and build closer relationships, leaving this meeting not only having enriched your knowledge, but as importantly, forge working relationships and friendships which will continue into the future.
A future encompassing a seamless system to counter the ills of transnational crime is being charted as the way forward for St. Lucia. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solaj Alfred.
Fishing with a difference. The Department of Fisheries looks to welcome fisherfolk and the general public to a fisher's clinic. A more comprehensive approach into the career of fishing looks to be explored at the upcoming clinic slated for Wednesday, June 26th. Solange Alfred tells us more.
The Department of Fisheries, in collaboration with the Castries Fishers Cooperative, A1 Island Marine Supplies Inc., Mercury, and KP Marine Supplies, Yamaha, will be hosting a Fishers Clinic on Wednesday, 26th June at the Fisheries Car Park located at Point Seraphin. Information and Communications Officer, Fisheries Department, Yvonne Edwin, says the event is open to both fisherfolk and the general public.
On that day, the event gives us an opportunity to get fishers in one central place where they would be able to understand and be provided with information on technical aspects of engine repair, engine maintenance, and on hand we will have the suppliers of the Mercury and Yamaha engines being part of this exercise. So we will have live demonstration how persons can maintain and repair their engines. As the public may know, you have a lot of incidents where fishers get lost at sea, and it is primarily as a result of engine failure. The department, we do an annual safety and navigational equipment inspection ahead of persons applying for their license, their commercial fishing license. However, when they venture out to sea on a daily basis, these safety equipment and navigational equipment is not always taken on board. And so the clinic will look at all aspects of that.
Edwin says the clinic will take a holistic approach to the development of fisherfolk by bringing a range of stakeholders across several industries together.
The St. Lucia Development Bank is on board. We also have an insurance company on board where they will be bringing information to fishers. This is a very risky daily expedition that they embark on daily. And so in terms of not just the health and wellness, but the business component, how they could make further investment, insurance for them, and looking at livelihood policies where they can not just think of today, but think of tomorrow. The fact that if you're lost at sea, most times these persons are the breadwinners of their family. And if they're lost at sea, then that puts their family, almost 5 steps back. And so what is that insurance? How are you looking at your life, your future, your household? And again, we're going to be bringing an insurance company, the bank, to provide financial tips and how they can enhance their business and add value to the fish that they would bring ashore on a daily basis.
The clinic will be held under the theme Gender Equity and Ocean Health, supporting access to markets for small-scale fishers. Edwin says the theme is fitting as it touches upon many facets of fisherfolk lives, especially the health of the ocean, which they rely on for their daily living.
Again, this is a regional theme. It was as a result or came out of the Caribbean Fisher Folk Day, and this is a regional theme. And again, you find women and finding access for fishers is something that the Caribbean Fisheries Mechanism, CRFM, is looking at, bringing that gender balance, looking at our ocean health, so marine pollution and the fact that you have a lot of plastic in our oceans. There is actually a tip or a vision that by 2050 that the ocean will contain more plastic than fish, and this in itself is a key component that we need to continue looking at our ocean health, and the fact that if we continue to use and continue to throw out waste and not manage our waste and continuously use single-use plastic, by 2050 we will have a very huge problem on our hands.
The invitation to the Fishers Clinic is extended to all fishers island-wide, as representatives from the Ministry of Health will be on hand to conduct free screening and testing, as well as officials from the Environmental Health Department who are looking to talk fish quality, hygiene, importance of ice, and sanitation. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solaj Alfred.
The recently held 41st Annual General Meeting of the Elks City Credit Union offered the perfect setting to address the many factors of an evolving society, including climate change and the best practices to work towards a more sustainable environment. Here's Solange Alfred with the details.
Elks City of Castries Credit Union hosted its 41st Annual General Meeting, which sought to update their members about the state of affairs as it relates to societal shifts, climate change effects, and financial development. says outgoing president of Elk City of Castries Credit Union, Mario Boyce.
And of course, we are bringing them up to speed with regulatory standards, security standards, basically the changes in the financial environment, so to speak.
The outgoing president says he will not be returning to contest the post, as he has served his 2-year consecutive stint as president. However, he looks forward to a worthy individual stepping up to take on the challenge. And what a challenge he describes as he notes the strains which all financial institutions worldwide have undergone as a result of changing processes and procedures.
Just about every financial institution in St. Lucia have been experiencing problems financial-wise. We continue to see the changes on the international market, the prices of oil. We continue to see members who are somewhat made redundant by those internationally fed events, so to speak. And of course, there's a trickle-down effect. When we don't have the sort of foreign direct investment coming into the country, and we do not have or should I say the unemployment rate rising, then of course naturally it have an effect on individuals who are able to borrow, individuals who are able to repay debts and what have you.
The guest speaker at the AGM, former Energy Minister of St. Lucia, James Fletcher, touted the role which credit unions can play in building resilience against climate change.
I think if people have not yet understood that climate change is not something that is happening, it's something that has happened. And in fact, the whole discussion now is how do you change the conversation from being one of climate change to one of being a climate emergency and a climate crisis. So I think we have done a decent enough job at the national and regional level in sensitizing people to the impacts of climate change. There clearly is a lot more work to be done, a lot more work to be done at all levels and for all sectors of society, from cradle to grave. And it is something that will impact our lives for the very long foreseeable future.
Meanwhile, Boyce says the financial environment has made it difficult for some members to repay debts. He notes delinquency is a major challenge for many credit unions. However, Elk's City of Castries Credit Union, guided by a cooperative spirit, will continue to work with its members to assist as best as possible. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Stay with us, we'll be right back.